Chase Briscoe establishes himself as a serious contender with back-to-back Southern 500 wins. But on the flip side, is it time to hit the panic button with Hendrick Motorsports? They had an awful night Sunday in Darlington, but who had a great weekend? Josef Newgarden. He saves his horrible, no good 2025 season with a win, and not just any win, a big hometown win at Nashville. We are super excited to talk about that here on the Gay Racing Podcast. Zack and Alex are back with you. Maybe the only place you can hear about gay people talk about racing.
Probably the only place.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. We should look around. Maybe there's some other gay people talking about racing. I don't know. We are so excited to talk. Well, are we? I don't know. I'm excited to talk about IndyCar. Funny enough.
Rare occasion we're excited about IndyCar.
And you're like, oh, that's only because Josef won.
No, it's actually a good race. I didn't think he was going to win that. So. It
was a really good race. Legitimately, and I mean, we'll talk about IndyCar later. Great end to the season for IndyCar. A lot of good races because a lot of oval races. We'll get to that later. NASCAR, the Southern 500. Alex, I feel like you are one of the biggest Southern 500 fans I know. Like, you just love this race. You kind of think it's like a better race than the 600 traditionally. Probably the best crown jewel race traditionally.
Yeah,
it's such a cool event. It kind of marks our podcast anniversary. We started it 5 years ago.
5 years of the podcast this week. Happy anniversary, Zach.
Yeah, so this race is special to us. But Alex, I don't know. How did you feel about the race yesterday? Just, I don't know.
I have been on record on the podcast saying the Southern 500 should have been NASCAR's marquee event rather than the Daytona 500. I have said it's better than the 600. This wasn't it this year. It just wasn't. And I think that's the car to blame. But it's still a big deal. I think it's cool. Chase Briscoe now has back-to-back Southern 500 wins, but the prestige didn't really feel like it was there this year for some reason, right?
It doesn't feel like it's there. Last year even was a little weird, and I know we talked really good about last year's Southern 500. Same driver winning, right? It's not somewhat similar circumstances even, you could say. But that might be the problem. It's the same circumstances. It's predictable. Nothing, I mean, what happened is exactly what we expected to happen. And honestly, this race played out very similar to how the spring race was going to play out if the spring race had a caution in the middle of the final stage like we did last night. William Byron dominated the spring race, and we'll talk about him later, but William Byron only lost that race because of green flag pit cycle, right? And we had a green flag pit cycle get taken out because of a caution. Honestly, that kind of confirmed the win for Chase Briscoe. I mean, dude, and listen, I'm watching the end of this race, and Chase Briscoe, he's a little bit of a choke artist, right?
I texted you that I was getting some deja vu because it reminded me of the Bristol Dirt race where Briscoe took out Reddick, and it was Reddick versus Briscoe for the win at the end.
And, you know, Eric Jones in third and Legacy Motor Club just having a great night in general. I'm just sitting there like, dude, Eric Jones is running the best race right now of everyone in the contention for the win. There was absolutely no way he was going to make passing happen on Reddick or obviously Briscoe. It just wasn't going to happen. And that's disappointing. I mean, that would have been a really good race with any other car, you know? And I hate to say that because you never know what would have happened with a different car, of course, but that's the race we got yesterday. And I was very disappointed.
We have a Patreon comment from Chris who said these next-gen cars, ... When Reddick can run Briscoe down from several seconds back but can't pass, the aero blocking is too much. And then you go into Blaney having his night effectively ruined because a flat tire killed the underbody car of his car.
Yeah.
It's just...
it's deflating.
This car, just when you don't have the strategy element right now, it's just kind of like, okay.
like imagine yesterday's race without stages.
And like, I would have been okay with that, but it's just like nothing happened, quite frankly, right?
No. The most exciting moments of the race were like Josh Berry wrecking lap 1, which we'll get to, and just like it's just bad things happening to people. It's no like actual racing going on, I feel like.
Well, yeah. And let's talk about Chase Briscoe winning. He goes back-to-back Southern 500.
Let's give him some
309 of 367 laps, most in his career. His previous best in a race was 109. which was the Martinsville Spring Race in 2023. Do you remember that happening? Because I don't.
Yeah, because remember SHR like used to qualify and be really fast at Martinsville. Remember?
That was the year before they shut down, or next to last year, though.
Remember though, they were only good at short tracks. Remember?
Okay.
Like they were good at short tracks, and that was it.
Briscoe is the first back-to-back Southern 500 winner since Greg Biffle in 2005 and 2006.
Yeah.
And last week, we said Chase Briscoe could be a dark horse pick for the Championship 4, and he showed exactly that. And we were texting, or I think we were calling, we were playing a game together, and like for the first stage of the race, and Briscoe is leading. And I believe I'm who said, like, oh, I didn't even think about picking him to win this because he won it a year ago in Stuart Haas equipment. I mean, I guess the signs were there. It's just something I wouldn't have thought of because usually he falls off in the race.
And he did. He did fall off, but it's Darlington and no one's passing him anyways. Like, especially mainly the last run. He did not run that last run good at all. And he said himself, I was listening to the teardown this morning. He burned his stuff up way too quick. You could see it. He was loose. Reddick was all over him, but he was not going to get past. And that's why I don't like picking Chase Briscoe for certain events, because I'm just like, I haven't seen him really run a really good race, even if he does win. Like Pocono didn't impress me that much. This win, low-key doesn't impress me that much compared to even his win last year, which I felt like circumstances were a little bit different. I'm just not that impressed, to be honest. And I hate to say that because it's the Southern 500. It's one of the biggest races in the sport. It is one of the hardest races to win. I still am impressed that he stayed pretty perfect for 500 miles. He didn't make a mistake, where it's really easy to. It's a track that's really easy to make a mistake. So there's that. But yeah, I'm not impressed, and I'm disappointed with how that ended up with Chase Briscoe, to be honest.
Yeah, and Tyler Reddick got close to Briscoe multiple times, but he could never get the pass done. I mean,
Jeff Burton.
He low-key...
Yeah, go ahead.
Reddick tried doing like a Hail Mary pass, but he was clean about it going into turn 3 on the final lap. But he wasn't going to get by him unless he wrecked him.
Jeff Burton pissed me off.
Pass done. What did Jeff Burton say?
Jeff Burton said, well, if Reddick can get close to Briscoe, he could get him loose because Briscoe's already loose. That doesn't happen with these cars. Denny Hamlin said that many times. You just can't do that in the next gen car. You don't get someone loose by packing air. So when Jeff Burton said that made me mad, because I'm like, Jeff, what year is it? Maybe back in your day, that's not how that works. I've never seen that happen in the next gen car ever. So that just pissed me off, because again, if those were the Xfinity cars, then yes, that's what would have happened. And I think what we would have seen is like Reddick get by Briscoe, and then Jones gets by, and then we see a Reddick versus Jones. That would have been cool. Eric Jones should have won this race. I'm not trying to be. He should have gotten his second or third Southern 500.
Third.
God, man. And I mean, we'll talk about Legacy in a minute. I guess they're next anyways on our little sheet.
Yeah. Just
Eric Jones, and it just kind of ties into Chase Briscoe too. I mean, they obviously have a thing for this track, and that's why Darlington is just a really cool track, because if you have it figured out, you're going to have a huge advantage over a lot of the competition. And Chase Briscoe specifically, there's one little cool story I want to mention real quick. Sorry, I'm like all over the place today, I feel like. But Briscoe, remember when he won the Xfinity race like 5 years ago?
It was also at Darlington.
Darlington. And that was right after him and his wife had a miscarriage. It's really cool to see his kid there. They had a kid eventually. Seeing them celebrate with their kid like 5 years later at the same track. That was like heart touching to me, because
I mean, it's a cool story for Briscoe.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention
nothing against him.
I have people in my life struggling with fertility, so it's just a really cool story for Briscoe, and it is why I am still really happy for him, even though I criticized this car, his own performance.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, Toyota had a huge night in general. They obviously won with Briscoe, but they had 6 of the whole top 10. They were the only manufacturer with a playoff car in the top 10. Ford and Chevy had no playoff cars in the top 10.
So weird.
And then Legacy Motor Club, they had their best race maybe ever, dating back to before they were Legacy Motor Club, like when they were Richard Petty Enterprises. Like this was a crazy night for Legacy Motor Club.
That's
top
true.
5 all night long. I know people couldn't pass, but for them to have the pace in general, just to
they were
be up
fast,
there, is really impressive.
I mean, they were catching the leaders and stuff at the end. Like, yeah, sure, keeping track position's not that hard, but still, like, they had pace.
Everyone knows Eric Jones is good at Darlington, but John Hunter Nemechek isn't making the mistakes that he used to, and I think that is worth a shout out for him. Both of them ran top 5, top 10 the whole race, and they finished 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, him shadowing Eric Jones that whole night is super, super impressive to me.
And did you hear on the broadcast that they said Jimmy Johnson moved back to the United States to be a bigger part of the team?
I've heard that like a few months ago. I heard about that. Like, yeah, he moved back to the US.
I thought that was interesting because he lived in London for a while with his family, but I guess he's back in the States, and it's obviously making an impact.
Yeah. That team's always, they're just in a weird spot because they're Toyota. They're not that same tier 1 Toyota that JGR and 2311 are. So for them to be able to pull a performance out like this is really, really impressive. And it kind of shows the strength of Toyota, I guess, that it's not just the JGR and 2311. Like Legacy is also up here as well. Banner night for them. Now, again, it's definitely Darlington, and obviously I think Eric Jones leading the charge, this being his best racetrack on the schedule, that says something, surely.
Yeah. Good for them. We kind of talked about this already, but like, was the race good and everything? Did the playoff format make it any better or not for you? A Patreon member, going back to him, Chris, says, crazy how the final IndyCar race of the season was still super enjoyable, even though we knew who the champion was.
Well, here's my thing with that too. What happened at Darlington yesterday does not change who the champion is going to be in November. And I say that with an asterisk because it could, but it might not. I mean, you know what I mean?
Like, we won't know till after Bristol, I guess.
It does not have an immediate impact. You know what would have been really interesting to follow yesterday? William Byron, points leader, terrible night.
Horrible day.
Terrible night. Chase Briscoe, who would be this is the Winston Cup standing, so it's different, but Chase Briscoe has a banner night, he's now 2nd in points in the Winston standings.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in the Winston standings is Chase leading or something, which again, he had a bad night too. So same story. Like,
yeah. Well, let's talk about Hendrick Motorsports because Elliott finished 17th, Kyle Larson 19th, William Byron 21st, and Alex Bowman 31st. To my understanding, Bowman's the only one who actually had like a major issue. I think Elliott had a slow pit stop at a point.
I think Larson Elliott got damage on a restart, apparently. I remember them talking about that.
William Byron dominated this exact race in the spring. What happened?
I mean, I wouldn't say exact race because, daytime differences.
It's the same track.
Same track, yes. But like, temperature, it's been months, to be fair.
Last week and the week before that, you and I were saying that Hendrick Motorsports were probably just trying out different things, doing what Jimmy Johnson, Chad Canals used to do back in the day. Trying out different setups and everything. Patreon member Blake is back and has something to say. What in the world was going on with Hendrick Motorsports? So much for the theory they were trying different setups and getting data for the playoffs.
Every time he sees Larson outside the top 15, Blake is just like, oh, let me submit a Patreon comment, talk about Larson. Larson's horrible season. I see you, Blake. I see. Oh my God.
Good fun, Blake.
I feel like me and Blake are fighting about Kyle Larson every week. Every time.
It's so fun.
It's great.
I love it.
It is fun.
Thank you, Blake. What do you got to say back? He just said what you said is not working out.
So I can't really argue with Blake too much here because here's the thing about Hendrick Motorsports, and I think their main concern traditionally is the short track speed, right? Because they show up to Phoenix and they're just not that good. Darlington is not supposed to be that track. I mean, Kyle Larson traditionally is really good here. William Byron dominated here in the spring, is traditionally also really good here. Bowman and Elliott normally aren't that far behind. Chevy in general is normally really quick at Darlington. So there is certainly an issue going on with Hendrick, I would think, right? Because we're going to Gateway in Bristol next week, and sure, Larson's good at Bristol or whatever, but this round of 16 could be a bit more challenging for Hendrick than than most people initially expected. I know you, Alex, you had Chase Elliott as a round 16 exit, which
our TikTok comments were saying I should never be allowed to predict again because I had the 9 car out. Meanwhile, he's like on the cut line now, and he was running 20th all day. So,
it's not looking that good.
And
I think,
as you said, Hendrick has not been good on the short tracks. And where we head next? Gateway.
Yeah. And they've never been good there. I mean, we haven't been going there long, but they just have never really had that kind of speed there. Larson's always been kind of slow there. So there is a huge, huge concern. And I think, and I will say as well, Darlington also is just a weird track. I mean, I think Darlington is a track that can catch teams off guard, even good teams. I think obviously Toyota stepped up last night. And if Toyota steps up, someone has to then step down. I think Chevrolet just wasn't prepared for what Toyota was bringing. So there's a lot going on there. Of course, there was some bad luck with Bowman. Maybe Larson had some splitter damage, maybe not. But again, Byron and Elliott's raw pace just were not there, and that's concerning as hell. That's very concerning.
So Kansas is in the round of 12. If Larson doesn't have the pace, Larson specifically, because he dominated Kansas, if he doesn't have that pace, or at least like top 5 pace, like I'm very concerned.
I mean, because to be fair, Larson was really fast, and he got a lot of stage points. Like he ran up front most of the race.
Do you know how many stage points he got exactly? Or no?
12-ish. NASCAR doesn't. I didn't look on their stage thing because their website sucks. But by my calculations, 12. He got 5 in stage 1, and then 7 in stage 2. So he got 12. So he ran up front most of the race. It's just, I think, again, there was one restart where he got some splitter damage and they just kind of fell backwards. So, but again, that is a part of racing. Like you need to be able to close this race out. My only thing, and I think the bigger concern anyways, even before tonight, is that, again, most of the tracks in the playoffs are these short tracks, right? Hendrick's lucky that in that final round, they get a 1.5 miles and they get a super speedway, which has kind of been their strong suits lately. That's going to be great for them, but you got to make it to the round of 8 first. And dude, I know you say Chase Elliott's not going to make it, but I'm a little bit more worried about Alex Bowman because he's already minus.
This is an awful start for Alex Bowman.
It's not what they needed.
And it wasn't really his fault. He had a slow pit stop and just really wasn't able to recover.
And maybe they didn't have enough cautions, but I feel like they had enough time to recover if they had the speed. So I'm just a little. They should be concerned. They're going to have to work really hard these next 2 weeks. And
definitely. And on the flip side of that, Ryan Blaney had, as we mentioned earlier, he had some underbody damage from a spin. Kyle Busch got loose on that restart. Blaney spun, didn't really hit anything, but this damn car it gave him some underbody damage.
No one wants to see that.
The thing is, Blaney still finished ahead of 3 of the 4 Hendrick cars, despite that.
Yeah, I mean,
he was having issues, had damage, and still beat 3 of the Hendrick cars. That's huge on points for the 12.
And, in general, as we'll keep talking about these playoff guys, the round of 16 isn't about how well you're running. It's about the mistakes you're making and not making them, it feels like, especially for our Ryan Blaney's, our Hendrick guys that already have a lot of playoff points. You have the cushion. Don't do anything to give it up. And Ryan Blaney, who comes in with obviously a lot of playoff points, as we talked about last week after Daytona, I think coming back with an 18th place finish is not ideal, but at least he's somewhat minimizing the damage, as you were kind of alluding to, I guess. But someone like Chase Elliott, who doesn't have that many playoff points, and you look at the cut line, which we'll look at in a minute, and he's only +9, that's not good territory to be in, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess we can pull up the playoff grid.
Yeah. And might as well keep mentioning
look at what's going on.
Because I mean, I was talking about, again, like Blaney's pretty still comfortable. Like I think your Chastain, so like literally everyone on the left side of that chart, they're pretty comfortable, I feel like. But then you have, here we go. Does this work? Sure, this works.
Sure.
They're pretty comfortable, but then you have like Hendrick, who's only plus 12, Bell, who's plus 11, Elliott plus 9, SVG.
Shane Van Gisbergen plus 3. I want to talk about him. He had attempted a one-stop strategy in that last stage. And the caution for the 44 came out at a really bad time. I believe if the caution had come out before he pitted, he would have been in a really good spot.
Yeah, he would have been all right.
Because he would have still been on the lead lap, and everyone else probably would have came down and pitted with him. And it would have been a net gain overall. Because he was losing a ton of spots, but the idea was it would have cycled out to where he would eventually would have finished better than where he was running, which was around like 20th to 25th-ish.
Yeah, but now he ends up finishing like 32nd. My issue with that... So here's my issue with that. My issue with that strategy is I feel like it's relying on a caution, but that caution can't just come out at any time. It's got to come out at specific windows because the 88 wasn't fast enough. If the 88 was fast enough, then I think that strategy is more open to when you can have that caution. But with their speed, I don't know if doing that one stop was worth it. It was too risky, and it didn't work out. You just gave up your cushion.
But if it would have worked, we would have been like, oh my gosh, what a genius play by the SVG team.
Sure. And yes, SVG might need something kind of like a miracle to get out of this round.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it's Darlington. Like, let's just get out of here. That what I said last week. Yeah. If he can get out of there not losing much on the cut line, that'd be great. But he lost on the cut line.
Where he was running, which was around 20th or so, he was going to be maybe lose like 3 points. And instead, he lost pretty much all of his advantage with the wins.
And like, again, to be fair, the legacy cars did a very similar strategy to get their track position. They cut out a pit stop in one of the stages. The difference is speed. You can make a lot more strategies work if you're fast.
Yeah.
If you're not fast, you're kind of handcuffed in a way. And honestly, going off the beaten path just makes it worse.
Yeah.
Because now you can't use your track position to your advantage. You're letting everyone behind you pass.
So we both had SVG advancing to the next round. I think now those chances have gone down dramatically. And the reason I had him was I thought they would just kind of be chill at Darlington.
That's what I was hoping.
Top 20. But as you said, I think they overthought this a bit. I think it was a high risk, big reward if that would have paid off. But it's a bummer. Well, I think this probably kicks them out unless there's a bunch of chaos at Bristol and they survive.
I'm not ready to say that, even though, like, if I had to bet money on picking 4 right now, I would probably heavily consider the 88.
Yeah.
Gateway, we'll see how he is at Gateway. It's kind of
before.
That's the thing. It's kind of a wild card for him, and also all these teams have never been there in September. The weather might be dramatically different. There's braking involved. Anytime SVG has to use that left foot, I think that's good. You know what I mean? If SVG has to use that left foot, I think that's good for him.
So this is a very different comparison, but like when IndyCar goes there and you have these guys that don't normally run in the ovals, like Romain Grosjean went to Gateway for the first time and put on a crazy good performance. Jimmy Johnson struggled there a bit more, like when he went from NASCAR to IndyCar.
Yeah.
There's another example that I can't think of that was in IndyCar, but Gateway has been a track for IndyCar at least that like these guys kind of shine on. So maybe there's a chance SVG has a good day. I'm not saying he's going to go out top 10.
It's an asymmetrical oval. I mean, both corners are different. Not that relates to any road course skill, but it's not your typical oval. And of course, Darlington wasn't either, but you know, Darlington's just like a classic NASCAR track. Gateway's still relatively new on the NASCAR schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen teams like Hendrick Motorsports not really have it figured out. We've seen Penske just show up and be really fast there, and like guys like Austin Cindric are winning. So I don't think it's impossible for SVG to get good finishes in these next 2 races.
It's not impossible, but I don't think he's going to get stage points, and I think Logano probably could get stage points.
Yeah, but sure. But again, let's think about it. I don't know. Logano looked kind of bad last night, but also let's think about it in a way of like, again, it's about who makes mistakes. You know what I mean? I mean, we saw a wreck lap 1 last night with Josh Berry. It's like and we'll get to him in a minute. Anything, I mean, Gateway, we could see a restart wreck. Bristol, always known for chaos and big wrecks.
Yeah.
You just got to hope for SVG that you don't get in it.
And as for Josh Berry, I think he's out of the playoffs already. I mean, he's only minus 19. There is a path, but he got loose on lap 1, crashes. He's now tied for last with Alex Bowman.
Your playoff debut, and you wrecked. That's embarrassing. I'm sorry.
Like, his best shot is probably Gateway because Penske's really, really good there.
His best shot is next year. He's out. It's over. Gateway, low key. You're right. Gateway. I mean, they were really fast there last year, so you're right, but it's not looking good. I mean, that was their one shot. Because again, I already had him as my bottom 4.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no way.
Christopher Bell, someone you mentioned who could lose a bunch of points. He's only plus 11. And he finished 29th. He lost a majority of his point advantage as well.
Yeah.
He ran into Carson Hocevar in the pits, and it caused some right front damage. Bell was asked about it post-race, and he kind of put blame on the 77 team, not necessarily Carson Hocevar himself. The 77 was entering his stall while the 20 was leaving. And
the 77 was like a lap down. Yeah. Because they just spun. So the 77 could have waited for the 20 to get out and not lose anything because they weren't. So I understand the frustration for Bell because that cost them a lot of points that you need. Again, you want this cushion, and not having this cushion, this could be a huge deal. And that's why I don't want to. It's really hard to sit here and really confirm anything because I think you can make an argument that Bowman and Berry are out. Dillon, even, I guess you could kind of consider an argument they're probably not making it either. But man, everyone else, you just really don't know. It really just depends on who has issues these next 2 races.
I think we'll know a lot more after Gateway, which is usually the case anyway. Yeah. The second race of the first round. I
mean, I'm being a little stupid. I won't know until it's done. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to predict.
On the flip side, look at Bubba Wallace, plus 25. Tyler Reddick, plus 35. These were guys that were barely in. I think Reddick was below the cut line coming in.
I had both of them.
Huge gains for them.
I had both of them getting eliminated. And I guess I didn't anticipate how good Toyota would be at Darlington.
Yeah, Toyota came out swinging.
Yeah, they really did. And your typical, Hamlins and Larson's up there. See, again, Larson, he had a big cushion to begin with, but he didn't lose any of it even after having a mediocre night last night. So Chastain's doing good too. He was up front a lot last night getting stage points. Good for him.
Chastain's one of the 4 I had out. He did better than I anticipated.
I forgot he's just really good at Darlington. Darlington's just, certain drivers are just really good there. So we'll have to see how Gateway plays out. Expect, I guess, Team Penske and maybe even more Toyotas to be strong. They're normally typically the faster ones at short tracks. Might be good for Christopher Bell to get some points back, but you gotta watch.
Well, remember last year at Gateway, Bell was in contention with Blaney to win that race.
Yeah.
But then he ran out of fuel, right? Or he had a tire issue or something?
Something
happened to the 20. And then Blaney ran out of fuel. Engine.
Yeah,
maybe. But Bell was up there, and it's a similar track to New Hampshire, which he's kind of owned in the past couple of years.
Yeah,
so
somewhat.
We'll see. But before we move on to IndyCar, we have a couple Patreon comments asking us why the Southern 500 wasn't on main NBC. Dirt says these races are supposed to be important and have weight, meaning all the playoff races. It does making everything about the playoffs ruin things for the fan base. And that Finley added in, Southern 500 shouldn't be in the playoffs anymore. Attending the race felt like it was still a crown jewel, but USA focusing on the playoffs took away a lot of it on TV.
That's always been a weird debate for me because I always thought when the Southern 500 started opening the playoffs, I always felt that it felt a little weird because it's overshadowing. Again, it's overshadowing the race, how big of a deal it is. At the same time, it's kind of the perfect race to start the playoffs. I always thought it was kind of cool that, man, this is one of the hardest races ever. Yeah, you made the playoffs, but this is the easiest round because, if you're Kyle Larson, this should be a breeze of a round. No, this is the Southern 500. You need to be locked in right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
However, last year, when the Southern 500 was the regular season finale, Alex, remember how much we loved that?
I loved it.
That felt so like seeing Chase Briscoe get a buzzer beater playoff lock in at the Southern 500. That was a different vibe than anything that we could see. But I also get the argument that the Southern 500 should just be detached from the playoffs in general. Like it shouldn't, maybe even just the second to last race, but it's Labor Day weekend. There's only so much you can do with the calendar. So it is what it is. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I do echo what Finley's saying. And I echo what Dirt's saying, because yes, this should be on NBC. It's Sunday night, Labor Day weekend. What is possibly on NBC?
And the thing is, too, the allegations say NBC is who want this playoff format to stay. Why aren't they prioritizing it on their networks?
Thank you. Because
there's not an NBC race until Talladega.
What's best for the sport is not this format. So if NBC, if you want this, then you need to be doing something good for NASCAR and putting us on your network. This is not a fair deal, in my opinion. But we can't just be doing this.
It's weird.
When I can watch IndyCar on Fox at Nashville when the championship battle isn't even going on, but I still saw a good race. I'm just saying. This is ridiculous.
But yeah. Next NASCAR race is Gateway.
It's not that big of a deal, but I echo what...
You're good. We had a little internet buffer there. Next IndyCar race there, or next NASCAR race is Gateway. I'm kind of looking forward to it. It was kind of a okay race last year.
If the tires, I don't know what tire they're bringing, but a tire wear saving a lot of these next gen races, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's like
short tracks have been a bit better lately, so we'll see.
Yeah, low key.
Well, let's talk about IndyCar, the season finale in Nashville. You just said that it was a better race than NASCAR despite not having a championship going on. And Josef Newgarden secured a win despite the horrors. I can't believe it.
I actually really cannot believe it. I was holding my breath. Honestly, even the white flag lap, because it's IndyCar, I'm like, bro, he might J.R. Hildebrand this one. Like, I was so nervous. So nervous. Wow. Great performance from Josef. I should have seen it coming, but it was just like, of all the years where he's not going to get a win, it's this year.
The vibes were not there. So he had the lead with about 60-ish to go. He lost some spots after sliding a bit too far into his pit stall. His crew had to adjust a bit. He got back by Alex Palou and Scott McLaughlin, and he didn't look back after that. He continued the second longest active win streak in IndyCar with 11 seasons. Scott Dixon is the longest active with 21, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
And Josef has said before that since he'd won the Indy 500, the race he wanted to win the most was Nashville, because that is his hometown.
Yeah.
And for him to have this horrendous season, just god awful, probably his worst season on record dating back to like his rookie year. At least it's probably on par with that, right?
I mean, yeah, this was an awful year. 12th in the point standings, by the way. That's by far his worst.
By far. At least at Penske, for sure. But for him to do this, the race he wants to win the most in this season, when fans are against him, the media has been against him, to still go out there, and then he has to hold off Alex Palou, who has been unstoppable this year.
Yeah.
That is an exclamation point on this season. It's just like, despite everything else, I can still do this. I love it. So
that's
cool.
A statement of like, yeah, Alex Palou is cool. He might be the best IndyCar driver, but damn it, I'm Josef Newgarden, and I just won this damn race. And you will not be forgetting about me as we go. Think about this the entire offseason. That's what Josef just said yesterday.
Josef Newgarden is going to be the defending IndyCar winner for 6 months. Y'all think about that.
And you can say again, Alex Palou is the best IndyCar driver, but who is the best oval driver? I think that is still very much up for debate. And if it's not, I know who it is. And it's the guy on Alex's shirt.
Josef could have won both Iowa races.
We are gassing up right now.
He should have won Gateway. Like, even in this awful year, he still could have had 4 wins. I'm just saying.
Hello, welcome to the Josef Newgarden Glaze podcast. This is Zack.
We haven't done this all year. Y'all
That's true. We haven't gotten the opportunity. We've been holding it in all year to glaze him. We've been holding it in.
Zach, he could have won the Indy 500 this year too.
Oh, he could have won Indy. He could have won Iowa. He could have won Gateway. He could have won Road America. No,
man.
Just kidding.
So we have some Patreon comments from Chris. Shout out to the Newgarden girlies. Present. Y'all hung in there this year, and your man got y'all a win. Super happy for y'all. And Patreon member Dirt says, Alex, what did it mean to you to see Josef finally break through this season after a miserable campaign that saw him get close but unable to find victory? For me, that was the most excited I've gotten over a win all year, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, even both of Ryan's wins, like, it was just like, yay.
It's Ryan
like this,
doing business as usual. So
when he was in the lead with like 60 to go, I'm like, there's still a long way to go. You sent me a gif of a meteor falling from the sky. And I was like, oh yeah, like that's still coming. But in my head, I'm like, but what if? But what if this is the day, right? What if?
And he did lose control of that race.
He did. He, like I said, he slid through his pit stall and he lost 2 spots, but he still got it back. And God, I think it was like 12 to go. Whenever that restart was.
Yeah, because McLaughlin washed up and about wrecked himself because Josef was putting pressure on him. So
I didn't sit down. I was standing. I was actually yelling and jumping at my TV. I was just like, it felt like seeing him win for the first time again, because it's the further you go into a career. I mean, look at Kyle Busch in NASCAR for our NASCAR people. You don't know when you're going to win again. And when it's your driver and they have this awful season, there's no guarantees. And I knew he would win again, right? Because he's been so good this year at times when he didn't have bad luck. It was just like, that win is going to feel so good and so sweet. And it definitely was. And it's a big reminder of like, yeah, I love being a fan of this driver and of racing in general. And that's why sports are so cool, Zach. Sports are awesome.
Yeah. That's why we have our favorite drivers, why we root for them. And I'll repeat, Josef still has it. Like, he is the best oval driver in the sport. Alex Palou has come a long way, but I think if anything, yesterday showed that Josef is on top of it, right? Because even at Iowa, when Palou beat Josef, I mean, Josef was all over him, right? And it was just really hard to pass at Iowa. In general, though, yesterday just was really good racing. Like, that was really a good product. It was a good product to see with Penske. The Penske's up fighting up there with Alex Palou. Big statement for Team Penske, by the way, to get 2 wins in these final 3 races, like after going winless this season. Obviously a big statement for Josef. McLaughlin being up there. It's sad that he didn't get a win this year, but he was fast. So
he could have won yesterday too.
Yeah. It was a big deal. Big is a good chapter for Penske to close out on what's been a hard season, rough season, controversy, and I'm really excited for Alex to talk about this next little thing that he just grabbed off his shelf.
Slay of the week goes out to one of our friends, Amy, and one of our listeners, Amy. She saw this photo of Josef and I at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway photo gallery or whatever. This is from Gateway. I posted on my Blue Sky, but trying to get without a glare. But it's me talking to Josef, and she bought a physical print of it for me.
That's so cool.
It arrived the day before the race, or like on Friday or something. So I was just like, oh, that's so cool. And I was talking to Josef, and I saw the photographer in the corner of my eye, and I was just like, I need that photo. Like, they need to post that, and they never posted it. But Amy happened to see it, bought it for me. So slay the week to Amy. That is
so cool, Alex. That's so special to have.
Yeah, like, this is such a cool photo. Like, I don't tell how happy I am in it.
Most fans will never have that opportunity to have a picture like that with their favorite driver. Like, that is so cool.
And Amy was actually at the track. I believe she listens to most of our episodes, so I'm sure she's listening right now.
I still got the little bracelet she made for me hanging right here.
Yeah. Mine are right over here on my, I think they're with the koala. I think he has them.
Dreamy Zack. So cute.
Her son, I guess, was crying when Josef won. And,
well, you were too. You weren't responding to my texts.
I
was
was
like, Alex,
I was a little emotional. You told me to
needed a
stop
moment.
crying and text you back. I needed a moment.
You were like Wendy Williams with the Q-tip in her eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, we'll move on from the Josef glazing session, but
Because it really was a good race.
it
Like,
really was a good race.
Not perfect, of course. I mean, we're going to talk about like some tires.
We haven't done this all year. We haven't done this in a minute because he's had a rough slate lately. Like, he's won the Indy 500 twice, but like outside of that, it's kind of been a rough go for him last couple of years. So that was kind of a throwback moment, Zach. We haven't had a Josef moment here.
Well, and I don't want to. I don't even want it to
GRP.
be about Josef either, because I am really happy for Josef. But man, the end of the IndyCar season, like I glazed how good Milwaukee was last week with Rasmussen and his drive. But we just had some really good racing these last few weeks, and again, it's probably just oval bias. I'll just admit that right now, but we just had even like I think the key difference with IndyCar and NASCAR is like in IndyCar they're getting side by side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're getting side by side, whereas in NASCAR they don't even get that opportunity. Like it's hard to pass in IndyCar still, but at least you're getting side by side, and then we see moments where there's like close contact or there's still some racecraft going on.
Yeah, this was a great race, and we need more tracks like this on the schedule. It wasn't like a Texas kind of race because Nashville is like it's an intermediate, but it's like closer to a short track than intermediate.
For IndyCar, it's a short oval the way they race, to be honest.
Yeah, it's faster than Iowa, but I know what you're saying. Yeah,
but it's still Gateway. I mean, they still go really fast at Gateway. You know what I mean? So it's like it's basically the same thing.
So let's talk about the race more. Pato O'Ward looked like he was going to have this race in control. He ended up losing a tire, and that ended his day. A bummer for him. He finished second in the point standings.
Big controversy around that. Pato was not happy.
What was the controversy?
The tire going down. Like Pato kind of called out Firestone because he was like, these guys are doing something with the tire, blah, 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 but they're not the ones hitting the wall 200 miles per hour.
See, I didn't see that.
Yeah, there was a lot of upsetted people with that. And yeah.
But that caution comes out, and it looks like Will Power was going to inherit the lead. They come down for pit stops under the caution, and Power's car stalls as he's trying to leave. And man, if that really, and we'll talk about silly season in a second, if that really was Will Power's last start with Team Penske, that sucks. That is an awful way to go out from his tenure there, if he is leaving.
At least he got the win at Portland.
Yeah, but it's just like no send off, nothing like it.
That's just him at Nashville. His seatbelt's coming loose, fighting for the championship last year. That's just him at Nashville, I guess. Just bad luck.
And so that ended his day effectively. In potentially related news, David Malukas also had a bad day. He got sent to the hospital for further evaluation because of an incident with Louis Foster. David's since been released. He posted on social media one of his little selfies he always does with a thumbs up and a silly face. Yeah, like that. Pato O'Ward did that yesterday too. He's like,
whoa.
I'm just like, okay.
God.
But yeah, glad David's okay.
Did you see that incident with Foster? Because I saw it. It was weird. It was weird. Like Foster, so Malukas was going to the outside, going into turn one, and Foster just like jerks his car to the outside, barely giving David enough space. I mean, he gave him enough space, I guess, and then so I felt like that was close to blocking, or it was just erratic because they were already side by side and he moved, but it was just very erratic.
Yeah.
And then my next thought was, okay, they go into turn one, and then Malukas just kind of runs Foster out of room and kind of spins himself low key. Like, I think an initial response is like, it's Foster's fault. But then I look at replays. I'm like, Malukas, why did you just drive down and not give Foster enough room?
I think Malukas was being over aggressive, but ultimately it's still Foster's fault. It was a weird incident.
I don't think it is.
I don't
Foster had the inside line and was really getting run down to the apron. I think Malukas was being too aggressive in the turn. I think Foster was being erratic, and maybe that triggered Malukas to be, let me drive this car down to the bottom. No, like y'all both need to chill the hell out. It's like Connor Daly and what's his face, Rasmussen at Portland. Y'all just need to chill the hell out. It's an IndyCar race. It's not that deep.
After winning last week, Rasmussen did crash out on the first lap of the race, by the way.
Lap 1, he crashed. My fantasy pick, by the way, that didn't matter because I still won.
It didn't matter.
Lap 1 crashing. That is hilarious.
Alex Palou did win the 4th championship several weeks ago. Incredible historic run he is on.
Congratulations. Why are you doing burnouts? Huge moment for Josef. Won in front of his hometown crowd. Huge story. Why the hell are you doing burnouts? We already knew that you won the championship. Get the hell out of the grass. Get the hell out. We need that grass for an event next week. Get the hell
Zack,
out of the grass.
It's 2025. He thought Josef was a lap down. He thought he won. That's what happened.
I think him finishing second made it worse because it's like Joseph's like, yeah, I just beat Alex Palou, and you see turn around and that dumbass is doing burnouts in the grass. Like, come on, girl, get the hell off the track. You already celebrated. Okay,
he should have been doing burnouts in Portland.
No, to be fair, they didn't have the damn trophy at Portland, so it's IndyCar's fault because Alex Palou still felt the need to celebrate because he probably... Did he get to see the trophy yesterday? I think yesterday was the first time he got to see the damn trophy.
Oh, by the way, not to make this about Fox again, they had Chris Myers presenting the trophy. He had no idea what was going on.
That's when I turned that TV off. When I was like,
too.
I was like, yes, Josef, woo! And then I hear Will say, we're going to send it down to Chris Myers. And I hear his voice. I'm like, I couldn't get the remote fast enough.
I think I texted you. I texted you in all caps. Jump scare. Why
Chris
is he there?
Myers literally has no idea what's going on.
No, he did no prep for anything IndyCar related.
He's probably like, the NASCAR champion is Alex Palou.
Imagine if he said Palou. Because some people still call it Palou. I think Pato Award does that.
Palau.
Palau. That's what it is. See, I don't even know what the fake pronunciation is. But I would just want to read these off. This is funny. The final point standings for IndyCar this year. Alex Palou obviously won. Pato Award with a very close minus 196 points behind Alex Palou.
I mean, Palou could have taken all 4 races. That's
and
crazy.
In third place, Scott Dixon is minus 259 points. Kyle Kirkwood, who we thought was Palou's contender, is minus 278.
Still a good season for him, though. 4th.
Good season. Christian Lundgaard, minus 280. And then Felix Rosenqvist and Colton Herta tied with minus 339.
Let me pull this up on the thing, might as well, because I want to talk. Actually, never mind. It's not that important. Christian Lundgaard's low-key the Chase Elliott of IndyCar. Like, didn't win at all, but most consistent, like highest in points without a win.
He kind of fell off in the summer. He was second for a long time in points.
Like, I want to sit here and be like, man, Christian Lundgaard, I'm like, he didn't really do much. But then I look at the points, I'm like, oh no, he was consistent. He did fine.
Yeah.
He just quietly did his job. You know what I mean? He'll get that win. It'll come. Same with Rosenqvist, honestly.
Yeah, Rosenqvist always sneakily, quietly good in points, I've noticed. Last couple of years.
To be fair, Palou won literally half the season. So it's like, you can't really be like, man, this guy didn't win a race. Okay, well, Palou won all of them. So, like, chill on that.
So let's talk about silly season. We talked a little last week that there's a rumor Colton Herta could go to Formula 2 and try and acquire the super license and then potentially go to Cadillac in 2027. Those talks were talked up quite a lot more this weekend. But now it sounds like the report is that is happening. Colton Herta would go to Formula 2 and Will Power would replace him in the 26 car. And nothing is official, but as of today, as of recording, September 1st, 2025, Will Power is allowed to talk to other teams that are not Team Penske. And we've known that for quite a while now.
Colton Herta's like playing like me on video games, so I'm like, oh, let me play the F1 game. It's like I'm going to F1 now. That's Colton Herta. Will Power to the 26. I mean, sure. It's just kind of like a nothing burger to me, to be honest with you.
Will Power is going to win a lot of street course races if that's true.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. That's actually really cool. My actual kind of interesting point here is like, what happens to the 4 then? If Malukas leaves that empty, do they get like somebody already in IndyCar, or do they get someone from Indy Next, like Miles Rowe, who apparently is been really good at the ovals in Indy Next? Do they go for him?
I
they
feel
get
like
Dennis
Miles Rowe
Hauger?
needs another year in next because I feel like he could probably
Yeah.
win that championship next year.
Yeah.
I think Hauger's a big Andretti guy.
So yeah.
I don't know a lot about the next guys. I'm not sure what would happen to that car because they're a Penske adjacent team right now.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
that's
Wood
what-
Brothers and NASCAR with Penske.
I'm just wondering. Or does Power go there, and then do they have Dennis Hauger and Andretti? You know what I mean? You know, Power probably wouldn't take. I don't know. That seems like a demotion. I don't know if Power would.
I don't think Power would want that.
So I'm just interested to see what would happen.
There's chatter that Romain Grosjean could be back next year at Coin. So maybe VK goes to the 4.
Well, that's just another
pure speculation. I haven't seen that. I've seen Grosjean coming back as talked, but
I'm just an IndyCar team owner allocating for an extra $500,000 on my budget because Romain Grosjean's in the field.
You're gonna wreck a lot of cars. Yeah,
my car is gonna get wrecked at least twice more than it did last season. Jesus Lord. Oh my God, that's funny.
Dale Coyne Racing did announce a sponsor for next year, but they said, yeah, we don't have a driver yet, but we'd like to have Rinus VK come back. And then like that night, there was a report that came out that's like, yeah, Grosjean wants to come back and it's possibly gets the 18 car.
Horror music.
You hear like the Jaws music.
Yeah, the Jaws.
Yeah.
Who's coming back?
So something to follow. It's gonna be a long off season for IndyCar, so I'm sure it's gonna take a while for all this to come out potentially. Maybe none of this happens, and maybe Power stays in the 12, Herta stays in the 26. Who knows?
It's interesting, more interesting than NASCAR silly season. NASCAR silly season's kind of dead.
It's just Suarez, right? That's the only silly season thing. The 7
it's getting
car
replaced by the most obvious thing, which is Zilish. So it's like, okay, that's it. I don't think anyone at Hendrick's leaving.
I think it's just the 7 car on the NASCAR side. That's a question mark, and it's probably going to be Suarez.
Haley.
Yeah.
Oh, so is Justin Haley out then? I didn't even. What?
That's the rumor.
That's a lateral. That's like a sideways kind of move. It's like
I agree.
I don't know.
If I'm Suarez, I'd rather get the 9 car. But that we're talking about IndyCar right now.
Yeah. I know. I was just thinking of NASCAR silly season because I forgot. I'm like, oh yeah, what's going on with that? Nothing.
Not much.
So, all right, fair enough.
Last thing with IndyCar silly season, there was a report, several reports actually, that IndyCar and NASCAR will be doing a doubleheader at Phoenix in the spring.
Who would ever convince NASCAR and IndyCar to do something like that?
Fox?
You know what? Maybe them buying part of the series is a good idea. I'm backpedaling on what I said a few weeks ago because if Fox, well, here's the thing: I just wasn't sure if Fox was going to do things like this. But if they
I noticed Zach at the end of the broadcast or toward the end of the race, Fox was already promoting the St. Pete Truck and IndyCar doubleheader, which will both be on FS1 and then Fox.
You know, that's super cool to me. That Fox is really because
NBC never did that kind of promotion.
They never went to that extent. NBC at least, and this is something they still have over Fox. NBC would at least have the windows of the races, the time windows. They would be very good about those. For some reason, Fox, and maybe they just didn't have enough control, they were never able to do that with NASCAR in the spring and IndyCar in the spring. They were conflicting way too much. But now, having these combined events in the most perfect way possible, because IndyCar, if they have a collaboration with NASCAR at Phoenix, Saturday night IndyCar race, I don't think anyone's complaining about that.
What if it's a Sunday night?
Or that too, I guess. Then yeah, a night race.
Because Saturday is Xfinity, which is on the CW, which has no affiliation with this. Fox could be like, we're going to have the Cup race at like noon, which is, I believe, is what it started at this year.
Well, that'd be 3 p.m. Eastern. Remember, it's West Coast.
And then they could really promote throughout the race. Hey, there's an IndyCar race here tonight on Fox, same channel.
Sunday night.
Stay tuned.
It'd be Sunday night primetime and still like daylight even.
That would be an awesome promotion for IndyCar. Huge win if that were to happen. The only other thing unannounced for the IndyCar schedule, I believe, is Mexico, which I saw it was like potentially going to be announced this week, and then it wasn't. So I'm curious what's going on there.
But this really opens the door, though, because IndyCar can go to any oval now. If Fox is paying for it and Fox wants it to happen, at least,
which that spring section needs help.
Homestead.
An oval before the Indy 500 would be huge.
I mean, the possibilities are endless. And honestly, I mean, we've been kind of saying, I feel like IndyCar does not better, but like when IndyCar is like paired up with either IMSA or NASCAR, I feel like that's just a really good thing for them. So I don't want that to be every race. Obviously, at Long Beach is still IndyCar's weekend. That's one of their crown jewels. But even just having the trucks come to St. Pete, like that's just kind of interesting to me. That's kind of something new, right? Yeah. IndyCar's on the positive swing. They're on the up and up.
The broadcast needs to be immensely better for year 2.
Yeah.
That's still my gripe with it. Is that the broadcasts are just not good. Still.
It's just interesting, though, because I feel like oval races, they don't cover that bad, which is funny because they're used to NASCAR, I guess, in a way. I don't know. It's just
whenever that's announced, we'll talk about it. I would love that, and I think that'd be a huge win for IndyCar. Real quick, Formula One was at Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix, and Oscar Piastri dominated. While Lando Norris DNF'd with a mechanical failure, Piastri now has a 34-point lead over Lando Norris and a 104-point lead over Max Verstappen. And our Patreon member Finley said, "I, for one, welcome our new Piastri overlord." So true. Thoughts, Zach, on the F1 championship?
Oh, you guys are gay. Yeah, that's all. Thoughts? Not really. I don't have any thoughts. I mean, it's just typical. That's just typical. I don't know. It kind of sucks. A mechanical failure? That sucks, man.
I, for one, am fine with it. I like Oscar.
Well, yeah, I know. But like, that's just tough when it's a teammate battle. And it's like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I just got unlucky with this part. That's crazy. That could have easily been Piastri. You know what I mean? That just sucks. Yeah. Oh.
And then Kimi Antonelli crashed into Charles Leclerc, and that Charles Leclerc ended his day on one of the banked corners at Zandvoort. And did you see this? Charles had a very sad and depressing photo shoot.
I did not see this. Did you? Is that the one you sent to me?
Check in the group chat we used to send our news.
Yeah, I did see something like that. Oh my God. Why is he so... Wait, this is kind of cute. Wait, I kind of... Look. He's just sitting there. Oh.
He's thinking. He's like,
I like
what am I doing with my life?
Oh my God, I want to give him a hug.
He's so sad.
God, he's so fine. He's so fine. He's fine as hell.
Yeah.
I'd wreck him too. He just... Oh, my DMs. I hope nothing important was there.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Anyway, fantasy. Anything else on F1? I don't think so, right?
No, I'm checking to make sure nothing got shown. No, it's all sent a link. Thank you. You accepted a request, so I think we're good.
I didn't think so. Fantasy IndyCar. We mentioned earlier you did win the IndyCar Fantasy Championship. Congratulations. I had Alex Palou, and if Palou won the race, I would have won the Fantasy Championship.
Yep.
So it was
we were tied, right? So
I'll get to that. Okay, I'll get to that. Joseph, I was either Joseph wins or Palou wins and I win the championship. So either way, I was chill with it, right?
Yeah.
I went in 1 point behind you, but you won the tiebreaker no matter what because you have more wins than I do, 4-3. But if I win the race, I would have gotten 3 points, which would have taken you over by 2 points.
Yeah.
So no matter what you did, it didn't really matter. You went with Christian Rasmussen, who finished last.
That's fun.
So
I should have picked Joseph, so I went out on a... I low-key thought about picking Joseph for fun. Little did I know
you said that last week. Yeah.
I should have just done it. I would have really stomped on you.
But yeah, I believe you had an average finish of like 7th, and I had an average finish of 9th or so. But we had, between you and I, we predicted 7 of the 17 race winners this year, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
And then
Alex Palou still won more than us.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's crazy. Wait.
That's crazy. That's super crazy.
Wow.
Considering all we have to do is pick somebody, and Alex Palou has to actually do the work. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, final IndyCar points for us, 16-16, but you get the tiebreaker with 4 wins to my 3. NASCAR, for Darlington, I had Tyler Reddick, who finished 2nd, and you had Denny Hamlin, who finished 7th, so I got 1 point.
Thank you.
It is now 25-22. I have a 3-point advantage. Who are you picking for Gateway?
Yeah, I don't know. There's 2 drivers on my mind. I feel like this isn't. I'm gonna pick. I'm nervous. I'm gonna pick Ryan Blaney.
That's probably the pick.
I feel like Ryan Blaney never wins when we expect him to. You know what I mean? Isn't that true? He never wins when we expect him to. He waits until we don't expect him to win.
Honestly,
he's evil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Evil.
He's evil. He doesn't give me fantasy points. Even when we expected him to win the championship, did he win the race? No. Still won the championship. He didn't win that damn race. Anyways.
I'm going with Christopher Bell.
That was my other pick. I was like, oh, do I pick Bell or Blaney? Toyota's so fast. But it's Bell, and Bell's kind of mid. Like, I don't know.
Bell's kind of been off, but this is a good track for him. He's good on this kind of track right now. But I would say Blaney's probably the favorite going into Gateway.
Yeah. I thought about Logano for a little bit. I'm like, ooh.
I don't see it from Logano right now. His stats for 2024 are identical to this year, but
he could still win the championship. But
he can still win the championship. But I don't know. It ain't there right now.
It ain't there right now. I feel all right with Blaney. I don't know who else I could have picked to feel good about, to be honest. So
like
Blaney.
Cindric? Like, I don't know.
He's
I feel like
reliable enough.
Bell and Blaney are the good picks here.
But that's the thing, though. Chase Briscoe just won a race, and Austin Dillon won a few weeks ago. You never really know.
Yeah. So. Well, with that, thank you for listening or watching. Thank you to our Patreon members for sending in questions throughout the episode. You can join in on that conversation at patreon.com/gayracingpod for only $2 a month, $5 a month for any early access or bonus videos we decide to do. Consider giving us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and liking on YouTube. And follow the podcast at Gay Racing Pod on all the social media platforms. And follow us on Blue Sky at Dreamy Zack Racing and at Newgarden. Zack's still on Twitter at Dreamy Zack Racing.
Yeah, and we will be back next week to talk about NASCAR at Gateway. I think I probably will be here. I'm traveling next weekend, but I should be back for the episode. But if not, we might have a special guest. We might have a guest on anyways. So
we're talking about a possible guest next week if Zack's not here.
So y'all might see me, y'all might not. Hope you guys have fun. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.